Du, 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 du. Oh, hello there. How nice to see you here again today. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you happy? Well, I hope you're happy. I'm not too bad. Just a moment, I have to do something down here. That's better. So, here we go. Once more. If you were watching yesterday, I was out and about yesterday, moving around in the wind. Even though the sun was shining yesterday, it was very cold and windy. However, today, you might notice the weather is not so bad and things are a little better today. So I hope you are doing all right. I hope you are feeling happy today. For those who don't know who I am, my name's Duncan. I teach English on YouTube. I've been doing this for ever such a long time. I really have. And I'm here once again during these strange times. Have you noticed at the moment things are very weird? So if it is your first time watching me today, if you've never seen me before, I normally teach English. However, at the moment, due to all of the strange things that are happening around me, I'm doing some special live streams every day. Just to remind you that you are not alone. If you are in isolation and you have no one to talk to or nothing to look at, maybe you have watched every single program on Netflix. In fact, you may have watched them twice. For those who've been locked down for a very long time. So here in the UK, we are now into our 4th week of lockdown and isolation here in the UK. However, it has been announced here in the UK that this will continue for 3 more weeks. We are going to have 3 more weeks of lockdown. Apparently, it will continue at the moment, as far as we can tell. It has been extended and it will continue until the 7th of May. So all of this will carry on until the 7th of May. So that was announced. I think it's going to be announced on Thursday this week. So they are going to announce that this will be extended for 3 more weeks. You could probably imagine that some people are not very keen on spending 3 more weeks in isolation, but that is what is happening, and so it looks as if it's all going to happen. It looks like it. It looks like that is what is going to happen. So we have at least 3 more weeks of this here in the UK, for those who are wondering. Hello to Vitas. Hello Vitas, nice to see you here again today. Thank you very much for joining me. Anna Pika, also Francesca, Adrian Florman, hello to you as well. Mika is here, watching in Japan, nice to see you as well. How are you coping? How are you all coping with this current situation? Today I've been outside in the garden trying to get a little bit of sunlight on my face. However, unfortunately we are not allowed to go very far away from our houses, and that is one of the questions I was asked yesterday. Mr. Duncan, how come? Why can you just walk around without worrying about being arrested or taken to the nearest police station? Well, you are allowed to walk around if it is near your house. So because I live in the countryside and there are lots of places where I can walk nearby, I am allowed, I can go around the area in which I live. So that's okay. And that's what I was doing yesterday, even though it was very windy and very cold. When I got back home yesterday, I was so cold I was freezing cold yesterday. I thought I was going to get hypothermia, something you definitely don't want. So sometimes the body can get overwhelmed by the cold. If it becomes very cold, suddenly your body will start to go into shock and things will happen to your body. Maybe your breathing becomes very shallow and your body starts to react in a very negative way. So I think yesterday I was suffering a little bit from hypothermia when I got back home, because it seemed as if the weather was nice. However, it was freezing cold. Come to think of it, it's quite cold today. It's not exactly warm here today, even though the sun is out and the birds are singing. Hello also to Beatrice. Hello Mohammed Hafez. Hello Constantine. Hello to you as well. So many people already joining in on the live stream. It is great to see you here today. I hope you are feeling good. It is a crazy time, but here we go on Tuesday, the 14th of April, which happens to be my sister's birthday today. So my elder sister is actually another year older today. She is my elder sister. So she is my elder sister. She is older than me. And also I have a younger sister as well. So I have two sisters and I am in the middle. In the middle of both of them. Grace Chin, nice to see you here again on the live chat. Hello also Humble. Hello Humble Spear. Humble Spear. Your name is very intriguing. Watching in Algeria. Hello to Algeria. Nice to see you here as well. I can hear there are some pigeons fighting over a girl, no doubt. Hello also Marina. Hello Elvira. Francesca. Also Chael New Win. Hello to Mr. Duncan. Hello to you as well. I hope you are feeling good today. I know one thing. It isn't very warm today. I was fooled by the weather yesterday, and today, I'll be honest with you, it's pretty cold today. I thought the weather would be nice today. Even though it's sunny, it is still quite chilly. Hello also to Anna Rita. Nice to see so many people here today. So what are you doing during this strange period of time? Have you found something to occupy your mind? Have you found a new hobby? Or maybe you are learning a new skill? Perhaps you have decided to look up some old friends. Look up. If you look up someone, it means you try to find them. So you look up. Maybe you look up a person's telephone number. It means you are searching for it. Look up. You will look up something. Maybe you are trying to find some information about a certain topic or subject. You will look up some information. You will search for it. You will look for it. Hello also Noemi, Anna Pika. Oh yes, did you see Mr. Steve? Mr. Steve was very busy this morning in the garden, and he finished his work just as I started my live stream. So you may have noticed Mr. Steve going past with his big wheelbarrow earlier on. And that is because he's been busy in the garden, moving things around. One of the things that Steve is trying to do at the moment is catch up on some of his gardening. So because he's having a holiday this week, that is exactly what he is doing. Mustafa, Irene, Alisa. Hello, Arpan. Hello, Arpan. Hello, Mr. Duncan. Did you bring some water today? I have some water, yes. Now, yesterday I forgot my water. and I had all sorts of problems with my voice because the air was dry, it was windy, and also at the moment I am suffering from hay fever as well because of all the pollen in the air. But yes, you are right. Today I have my water, so my throat will not go dry. I will try not to cough and splutter. I will try my best not to do that. I have some lovely water here to keep my throat soothed and refreshed. Does that sound like a good idea? I think so. Anna Pika, we saw you dancing, Mr. Duncan. I was dancing on the lawn behind me. I was having a little dance. I might do it again later. Maybe we can all have a little dance together. Does that sound like a good idea? I think so. We'll be talking about words and phrases connected to staying in touch or connecting with other people. So we will be talking about certain words in the English language connected to those things. Dorota or Dorota. Hello, Mr. Duncan. How are you? I'm not too bad. However, already I am really fed up. I am sick and tired of my hay fever because it's making my nose very sensitive. It is also irritating my throat. But don't worry, it isn't anything else. I can assure you, I can promise you that it isn't. Okay? It isn't. As I mentioned just, we have 3 more weeks of this. It has been announced, or it will be announced here in the UK. We are going to have 3 more weeks of lockdown. And it looks as if it will continue until the 7th of May. So I was right. A couple of days ago, I said, right here, on my live stream, I said, I have a feeling it will continue into May. And it is. So it looks as if we are going to be doing this, certainly here in the UK, or certainly here in England, we will be doing this for at least another 3 weeks. Ovgun. Hello, Ovgun. Ovgun Music. Nice to see you here as well. Florence. Hello also MGA Lover on Rhodes. Hello again, and a big hello to the Philippines. Hello Philippines, and also a big hi to Manila. Hello Irene. Also Luis Mendez is here today. And I have some French water. I have some lovely French bottled water to keep my throat refreshed today. Thank you also to Wei Chen. Hello, Wei Chen. Nice to see you here again. I'm in the garden. I'm not walking around today. I've decided to stay here, safe in my garden. However, we are very lucky. We have another glorious day here in the UK. The weather is fantastic. Even though it's a bit chilly, it is a little bit cold. Already I am regretting wearing my short-sleeved shirt. I must admit, I am regretting not putting my coat on. I might actually get my coat in a few minutes and put that on because it isn't very warm. At least we have sunshine and we have blue sky again, which is nice, I must say. Another thing that I suppose I should mention, that this weekend the weather is going to become very bad here in the UK. We are going to have a lot of rain. So that should be interesting for me because I'm not sure where I will do my live stream. I will probably be in the house or maybe in my studio. So if the weather becomes very bad at the weekend, if the weather becomes very bad, then I might have to go back in. Hello also to Alice, who says, Mr. Duncan, if bats are blind, how come Batman is not blind? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not sure why. Bats have very sensitive hearing, and also they have a special system where they can bounce sounds from their own body, and they can hear the reflection of sounds, and that's how they work out how far things are away. It's a little bit like sonar. It's a little bit like that. Quite clever, really. Hello, Yasir. Hello also to Quran Kareem, watching in Morocco. Hello, Morocco. How is the weather there today? I hope it is good, and I hope you are making the best of this very strange time. It is a very strange period of time at the moment. Hello, Dorota. Hello also Beatrice, Trang, Car. Nice to see you here as well. I want to hear you sing, Mr. Duncan. I have a strange feeling that my throat might not be up to singing today. I don't think my throat is strong enough today to start singing, to be honest. Mr. Duncan, have you ever had a blind date? I have never done it. I have never gone on a date with a person who I didn't know. So I can promise you now, that's never happened. Even though there are some people who have gone on a date with a person they've never seen or met before. And sometimes, yes, they get along, they become friends, and then they become lovers, and maybe they stay together for the rest of their lives. So it doesn't work for everyone, but maybe having a blind date, maybe having a date where the other person is anonymous, you don't know who they are, you only see them, you only get to know them when you go on the date. Freddie says, wow, Mr. Duncan, you have 3 more weeks. 3 more weeks. So this is the 4th week, and it looks as if we have 3 more weeks. So in total, it will be around 7 weeks. We are going to be in lockdown, and that is the latest situation. That's what's happening at the moment here in the UK. Christina says, I don't want to go on an anonymous date or go on a blind date. Your smiley face on your t-shirt. We like your smiling face. Thank you very much. It is one of my t-shirts. This is my happy t-shirt, you see, because even though things are not great at the moment, I try to see the sunny side. I try to look on the bright side. I try to see the positive things around me. Hello, Anna Dudek. Nice to see you here again as well. Mr. Duncan, can I be your substitute one day? Asks Ari Hassan. Why not? If you want to do this instead of me, you are more than welcome. No problem. Lena is here. Oh, that sounds like a Jenny Wren. Hello, Jenny Wren. Nice to see you here today. Jenny Wren. Oh, hello. It is a Jenny Wren singing then. Did you hear? Jenny Wrens are very small birds. They are tiny birds. They are, I think they are the 2nd smallest bird in this country. The wren. W-R-E-N. Very small birds, but they have the most delightful song, which is what you heard just. That was a little Jenny Wren. Hello also Lena once again. Yes, I am here, but the people in Russia are allowed to go shopping to buy something to eat. They can walk with their pets, and they can get special sections to throw away their garbage. So there are some controls, however you have some freedom. So that is what is happening in Russia. Hello also Arpan, nice to see you again. Hello also to Eleanor. Mr. Duncan, I often missed your lessons because I work. My factory is not in lockdown, so I watch your lessons after work. Well, Eleanor, guess what? You have managed to catch my live stream live. So welcome to my actual live stream. So today you are not watching the recording. You are very lucky today because you have a chance to see me live. So that's very nice. Wow, Mr. Duncan, you have 3 more weeks. Yes. So this is the 4th week this week. But it looks as if we have 3 more weeks of lockdown here in the UK. So I have a strange feeling that I might be making quite a few videos. I will be with you live, maybe every day for the next 3 weeks. How will I manage? I have no idea. Hello, Adrian again. Happy birthday to your sister, Mr. Duncan. That's very kind of you. Thank you very much. Today it is my grandfather's birthday. Oh, I see. Unfortunately, he is no longer around. However, he would have been 98 today. He would have been 98. It is strange when you think about people who you've lost over the years. We often remember their birthdays, even though they are no longer around. So yes, I think that's a normal thing to do. I think a lot of people do that, especially if it's a relative who they were very fond of, or maybe a relative who they were very close to. So even though a person passes away, you will still remember their birthday. So I think that's quite nice, to be honest. Mr. Duncan, please don't leave us after the lockdown. Please stay with us to the end of our life. Well, I'm not going anywhere, even after this finishes. So when the lockdown around the world ends and everything gets back to normal, whatever normal is these days, so when things become normal again, I will continue making my live streams. I won't stop doing that. So that will continue. However, I won't be here every day. Definitely. I'm pretty sure about that. Feden says, we like your shirt. The blue colour has a positive effect. That's very kind of you to say as well. FC. Hello, FC. What does lockdown mean? Does it mean you have to stay at home, or are there other uses? Well, when we say lockdown as a general term, it just means you are being restricted. You are being restricted on your movement. So where you would normally have the freedom to move anywhere and go anywhere and move around freely, during the lockdown you will find that your freedom to move around is restricted. So some people have been told to stay in their homes. Some people have been told that they can go to work if their job is essential. So there are many ways of expressing lockdown, but generally speaking, it means the restriction of movement, or maybe the restriction of moving around to other places. So maybe travel will be restricted. Your movement will be restricted. Hello to Christina. Hello to Vitas. Hello Anna again. Nice to see you back as well. Nightbot. Hello Nightbot. Good evening to Nightbot. Nice to see you here. Hello Mr. Duncan. I am a beginner. Thanks to your lessons, you make me more confident. Thank you so much. You are welcome. One of the best ways to learn English or any language is to listen to it being used. And there are many ways of doing that. You can watch your favourite movies with subtitles. By the way, there are captions today on this live stream. So because I'm using my studio today, you can actually have live captions. I forgot to mention that. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention. You can have captions now if you press C on your keyboard. I forgot to mention that. But yes, you can have live captions. It's amazing. Thank you, Nightbot. It's very kind of you to say that. So listening is a very good way of improving your English because you become familiar with the language. You become familiar with the use of English. So I like to think that my live lessons and also my recorded lessons give you an environment to work in, an English environment. So this is like being in virtual reality. The only thing is, this reality is the English language. So it gives you an idea, it gives you a feeling of English being used. And of course, because this is live, everything is spontaneous. So nothing is rehearsed. As you can see, I'm standing here in the garden and I have nothing really prepared. So I can stand here and talk to you and you have a great chance to listen to English being used. Do you like the thrush bird? I love to listen to the sound of the song thrush in the evening. Quite often you can hear the song thrush singing in the trees. And we do get them in the garden as well. Quite often in our garden we get lots of thrushes flying around, feeding from our bird food. Hiroko is here. Nice to see you back again. Nice to see you back. I hope you are feeling good. Mr. Duncan, you wear bright colours today. They make you look very happy. But are you really happy? I am happy. I feel good. I always feel very excited just before I come on to speak to you. So I always get very excited. Normally my heart is fluttering like a bird's wings before I come on. So yes, I do feel happy today. I'm always happy, especially when I open the windows in my house and I can see the blue sky and I can hear the birds. It is a nice feeling indeed. In fact, it's a nice feeling when you open your eyes in the morning. So if you can open your eyes in the morning and you can look around, that is a pretty good reason to be happy, as far as I'm concerned. It is a pleasure hearing your relaxing and wonderful voice surrounded by the birds singing. In addition, we understand you perfectly without captions. That is very good. I am sometimes complimented on my use of English, but I think it's very important if you are teaching English, people have to understand what you are saying. Because if you speak as a teacher, and if you are teaching a language and your students don't understand you, then it's pointless when you think about it. Mr. Duncan, could you tell me if I was first today? Vitas was first on the live chat today. Vitas. Maybe tomorrow, Francesca. Maybe tomorrow, if your finger is very fast. I have a feeling that Vitas has a very fast finger. I think so. Trang Kar Kar. I like your name, by the way. Mr. Duncan, what does clinical team and clinical decision? Well, a clinical team is a group of people who are treating maybe a patient in hospital. So there is a patient in hospital, there is a clinical team who are taking care of maybe one person or maybe a group of people. So we talk about a clinical team, a group of doctors or a group of people who have qualifications in medicine. Maybe they all have different areas of expertise. So a clinical team, group, clinical refers to medical treatment. Quite often, when we talk about medical treatment, you are receiving clinical care. You normally receive clinical care from a clinical team. A clinical decision. Well, that might also refer to a decision that is made concerning a person's well-being or their health, or maybe the treatment that they should receive. So, a clinical decision. Precise is another word we can use. So, a person can be clinical in their approach to life. They can be very precise, very sure, something very clinical. Hello to Florence. We are so delighted to see you here every day, Mr. Duncan. Thank you very much. I don't know how I'm doing this, by the way. I really don't know how I am doing this. All I know is that every morning when I wake up, I feel very excited because I think, oh, today I'm going to be on YouTube again with you. And I get rather excited about that, to be honest. Mika, oh yes, Mika makes a very good point. Ironically, we have been having much cleaner, clearer, fresh air in this period of time. I think that's a very interesting observation. I think a lot of people at the moment are talking about, but one of the strange things that has also occurred is that many cities, many large towns are actually feeling a little fresher. Maybe the air is cleaner around the people living there because there are no cars, or there are fewer cars travelling around. Some factories are closed, so there is less pollution. But I think, yes, that's very interesting. One of the strange side effects of this whole situation, because there are fewer people moving around, travelling around, fewer cars, many factories are no longer spilling out their pollution. It's very strange. Is there an epidemic in your country? Yes, the UK has been affected quite badly by this, especially in England and in the southeast. So in the southeast of England, that is the area that has been affected the most by, you know what I'm talking about. There was a very interesting news story that I read this morning as well concerning Chernobyl. Apparently there is a large wildfire that is spreading across the landscape, and apparently it's heading towards the disused Chernobyl power station, the nuclear power station, that of course was the subject of a terrible disaster in 1989, I believe. 1989, was it? Hello also to Freddie. Don't worry, we will be with you. We will be here with you. I'm glad to hear that. One of my worst nightmares, one of the things that I really feel worried about sometimes, is waking up in the morning, coming on here and finding there is no one watching. Perhaps one day I will be standing here talking to myself. Gisela says, Francesca, you are right, but I see no way out of this situation. I've been at home for weeks and there is no hope for the coming days. Yes, it is hard to make sense of what is happening at the moment. I've never lived through anything like this. Anna Pika says, I adore your silent words. when you say, well, the reason why I do that is because here on YouTube there are certain things that you can't say, and is one of them. So that's the reason why I do that. Hello, Vu Chung. Hello, I believe you are watching in, did I say 1989? I'm sorry, 1986. I got the 6 upside down. I'm sorry about that. I apologise. 86. I don't know why I said 89. Sorry about that. Yes, it is a very strange situation, and at the moment I really don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. Hello, Dr. Manner. Mr. Duncan, I want your advice to know how to benefit from reading books and how to save and memorise the new vocabulary or the new words during reading, which makes me bored and not keen to continue. I don't want to carry on doing it because I find it boring. Here is my suggestion, and this will not make you bored. It is a magic solution. It is an answer to all of your problems. And here it is. If there is a book, or if there is something that you like reading, or something that you are interested in, one of my suggestions is to write. Write. When you write, you use a different part of your brain. So when you are writing something, you concentrate on the words in a different way because you are using different parts of your brain. So you will find if you write things down, if you write words down, or if you copy the words from a book. So maybe you can sit down with a book and you can look at one of your favourite pages, or maybe a favourite part of the story, and you can write or copy what is written in the book. And what you will find is over time your brain will start remembering the words, because if you write something down, if you write or if you copy something in writing, your brain works in a different way. It is using different parts of your brain, and by doing that you will find that the words will stay in your head much easier. It's a little bit like repeating words. So sometimes you might hear a word in English, maybe a new word, and sometimes you will repeat the word. And after a while, the word will stay in your brain. And that is a very similar thing, because you are using more of your brain. When you read, it is a very passive action. So reading is what I call a passive action. So you are sitting, you are looking at the words, but you are not doing anything else. So if you write things down, if you copy things, you will find that your brain works much harder. And because of that, the words will go into your brain much easier. 1986. I'm sorry for saying 1989. The reason why I said 1989 is because I always assume everything happened in 1989. But no, 1986. But seriously, this is a story that no one is talking about. Apparently there is a huge wildfire, and they are saying now that it is heading towards the disused Chernobyl power station. That is what is being said this morning. Cap Devi, do the moderators filter the messages for you, or do the messages arrive to you, Mr. Duncan? What is the exact role of the moderators? I have 4 moderators on my YouTube channel, and the reason why they are there is to make sure nothing is being said that is offensive or upsetting to other people on the live chat. So I like to think of this as a family We can express our opinions and our thoughts, but we have to also make sure that we are not being unfair or rude to other people who might be watching. So that's the reason why we have moderators. But everything that goes through the live chat, I see. I see everything on the live chat. I can assure you of that. So there is no problem there. I am happy because we are a lot of people on the chat, but I can't read the messages. Oh, I see. I don't know why. I hope you can read the messages as they come on your screen. Sometimes if you are watching my live stream and there is no chat, sometimes you can refresh your page. So what I suggest is, if there is no live chat, you are watching this with no live chat, can I suggest that you refresh the page, open the page again, and hopefully the live chat will be there. So that is my advice for that. Arkan, hello, thanks for the update, and I look forward to hearing back from you soon about what is going to happen next. It is interesting, yes, I noticed last night, Mika, I noticed that in Japan they aren't having a lockdown in Japan. So many things in Japan are continuing as normal. However, they are encouraging people to have safe distancing from each other, social distancing. So that is going on in Japan. But I did see a very interesting news report last night about Japan. And apparently many of the things that they are doing there are really as advice. So they are telling people to stay far away from each other. So many restaurants are still open, many shops are still open, and in certain places everything looks normal. However, you will notice that people are very far from each other. There is social distancing taking place, or there is social distancing taking place in Japan, which I thought was very interesting. Hello Janice. Mr. Duncan, I am from Turkey. Currently I live in Saudi Arabia because of my career, and I can speak English and a little bit of Arabic, Spanish, and I still try to improve my English. Your accent is amazing. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you, and I hope you are having a nice time in Saudi Arabia. Do you always recommend us to repeat English words? I do. If there is a word that you can't pronounce, or maybe a word that you are having difficulty saying. So yes, I would say that sometimes repeating things is a very good way of learning a new word. Maybe there is a word that you have difficulty pronouncing or saying. Also, it's a good way of getting things to stay in your head as well. It is a very good way of remembering things. Sometimes repeating is a good way of learning something. It really is. Christina says, I always write every single word of your lesson. Thank you, Christina, and that is a great idea. As I said earlier, writing is a good way of getting things to stay in your brain, because you are doing something that is keeping your brain active. So that is an active thing. Reading is passive, because you aren't really doing anything. Writing is active, so you are doing something that is using your brain in an active way. Hello Yuki. Hello Yuki, you cheer me up, Mr. Duncan. Thank you so much. Thank you as well. And you cheer me up by saying that I cheer you up. So we are all happy. I like it. I like it a lot. Hello Mohsen. I always watch your videos and I love listening to you. It makes me improve. Glad to hear that. as I said before, what you have to remember is doing something regularly, doing something every day can really make a difference, whatever it is, whether it is physical exercise, or maybe if you are controlling the amount of food that you eat, or maybe you are listening to English every day. So if you do something daily, if you do something every day, it is a very good way of getting those words and getting those new English words to stay in your brain. Listen, write, repeat. Writing is an important part of learning English. This live chat is very useful for this reason. Yes, because you have a chance to write and also type on the live chat. So don't forget, just by writing on the live chat, you are using English. You are using your brain actively. It is not a passive activity. Listening to audiobooks whilst reading. Yes, you can do that. Sometimes if you do both things at the same time, maybe you can look at something, especially nowadays because we have these amazing mobile devices such as tablets. There are these wonderful tablet devices and you can read the books on there. However, you can also listen to the books as well. So some of these books that you can now get through your mobile devices, especially your tablet devices, you can read them, but also you can listen to them at the same time, which is brilliant. I think that is such a good idea. I really do. If a person has some sort of problem, or maybe they have difficulty remembering things because of an accident, yes, I think there would be more difficulty involved there. But I suppose you could still write things if you are still able to have a certain amount of movement, and you can still write. And also I would imagine, I'm not an expert on this, but I would imagine also it would be very good therapy as well. Very good therapy for people who have had head injuries, or maybe they've suffered a stroke. So I would imagine that things like writing or reading would be actually very good as a form of therapy for people who have had head injuries. Hello again to Janice. What would you recommend about the phrasal verbs, to use those in our sentences and to know them exactly? Phrasal verbs are often used in English, however, they are not used all the time. So quite often, phrasal verbs are very useful if you want to express something quickly, or maybe you're trying to make a certain point about something. So phrasal verbs aren't always used in English. However, they can be very useful when you want to express yourself clearly. I don't think it is useful to write while you are reading. Okay then, well that's your opinion. Thank you, Emin. But it is a good way of learning new words. What I am actually saying there is learning words that you are unsure of, or maybe you want to have practice. So it is not always possible to do just one thing, or maybe one thing isn't useful to you. So what I'm doing is giving you some alternatives, some different ways of learning. So maybe you are bored with reading all the time. So what I'm doing is I'm giving you another choice, another thing that can help you. And that's the reason why I suggested it. It is very useful to write down and repeat. Yes, it is. It is a great way of remembering things. You might not realize this, but your brain can be changed. You can actually change what your brain does and how it works. You can even grow new cells just by doing things in a different way. It has been proven in science that if you learn new activities or if you do things in a different way, it can actually stimulate your brain. You can actually change the physical shape of your brain. I think that's incredible. It's amazing. Just by learning some new skills or doing something in a different way, you can literally rewire your brain. Where are you from? You are so beautiful, Christina Jackson. Oh, Christina, I think you have a fan. I think so. It is not allowed to call the name of the problem because of the panic which can be caused. So we will call it that way when we use this word, says Lena. Well, I think one of the big problems at the moment is lots of people are making videos here on YouTube and they are talking about this situation, but they are also talking about things that are not true, or maybe things that have been made up, or maybe they are trying to create panic, which of course is not very useful really when you think about it. It isn't very useful. Hello, Unique Arena, Mr. Duncan. There are two pigeons fighting. There are two pigeons fighting above my head. I don't know if you could hear that. Could you hear that? Two pigeons having a real good fight. Mr. Duncan, I've learned English writing, and my first time in the UK when I had to ask for a simple napkin, I couldn't. The cashier was horrified by my accent. Are you sure about that, or did you just think that's what happened? Maybe you were feeling a little shy or a little awkward. So this is one of the things I've said before about speaking. There is a big difference between learning words and saying them. And quite often, when it comes to speaking English, you can have difficulty with confidence. The more you do something, the more you enjoy doing it. And the more you enjoy doing it, the more you want to do it. So that was a bad experience, but don't get put off. Don't let that experience spoil your English learning. Don't let it spoil it. Don't worry about it. We all make mistakes. I make mistakes. Sometimes I spell my words wrong. Sometimes I mispronounce a word. Sometimes I forget a word. I can't think of it. So we all do it. It is normal to make mistakes. So try not to think about it too much. Try not to worry about it too much. Hello, Leal. I make a list with every new word on the board, so I erase it when I've learnt it. That is a good idea. So maybe you can learn some words by writing them down, and every time you learn one of those words, you can remove it. So once you remember it, you can take it away from your list. So always try to learn maybe 5 new words every day. So you don't have to learn hundreds of words. Just learn 5, 6, 7 new words every day. And if you do that every day, imagine how many new words you will remember by the end of the month. It's quite a lot, actually. Quite a lot. Hello to Korea, South Korea. Hello to you. Nice to see you here as well. Hello also to Ernesto. Yes, Mr. Duncan, we have a big family here. It is a bit like that, isn't it? That's what I think. A lot of people have said to me, Mr. Duncan, we like joining your English class because It's like a big family around the world. And there are many people now who join on a regular basis. Hello, Belarusia. Nice to see you here as well. We also have Stickman. Hello, Stickman. I'm glad to see you here again. I hope you are enjoying this very strange period of time. And I'm not talking about my live streams. I know my live streams sometimes are a little bit weird. However, what is happening at the moment around the world is very weird. Very strange indeed. Mr. Duncan, do you have any nephews or nieces? I have quite a few actually. So my sisters are both married and they've had children. So I have nephews. Actually, I don't have any nieces. So all of the offspring or children of my sisters are actually boys. They are all boys. Very interesting. I never thought about that before. That is the first time I've actually thought, hang on a moment. Both of my sisters have sons. So in total there are four sons. So I have 4 nephews. Hello to Nightwolf. Hello also Vitas. Hello Belarusia again. Unfortunately the internet is not good today. Oh, well I hope you can stay with me for as long as you can. I hope you can stay for as long as you can today. Mr. Duncan, what is the bird which is singing in your place? I can hear its loud singing sometimes. But it sounds like hoo, 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 hoo. That is a pigeon. That is a pigeon. So pigeons make like that. So that is actually a pigeon. And many of the pigeons at the moment are looking for a mate. So quite often they will make that sound. That will be the male. The male will make that sound, and quite often when he goes up to the female he will actually bow as well. That actually happens. That's what the male does. So the male will go up to the female and he will bow. He will bow and he will make that sound. Like that. Mr. Duncan, I can't read the messages because they move too fast on the screen. And I am more than happy that we are more and more, or we have more and more classmates every day. Thank you very much for that. It's very kind of you to say. Every language is an ocean waiting to be explored. What is your opinion? I think so. Now, my interest in English has always been around, so I've always been interested in the English language. Since I was at school, I used to love writing stories, and that goes back to what I said earlier. So I used to create my own stories in my head, and I used to write them. I used to love writing. I used to spend many hours during my childhood writing stories, making them up in my head. It was a great way of expressing myself. I found that socializing and being around other people made me feel very awkward. So for me, writing was a sort of escape. It gave me a way to express myself. So writing stories as a child was very comforting for me. So I've always been interested in the English language. I found it fascinating how it is used. Even more so when I started travelling around the world to different places. And then I met people also who were speaking English as a second language. And that's one of the reasons why I became interested in teaching English, because I was really fascinated by it. Can there be any harm resulting from what is going on at Chernobyl? I'm not sure. I think at the moment people are a little worried about it. But I don't think there is any danger. However, people are concerned about it. One of the other things, of course, is that it isn't really being talked about. Mizuku or Mizuki, hello to you. Hello also to Emin again. If something is disruptive, it means there is chaos. Chaos, disruptive. So if you disrupt something, it means you cause a problem, or maybe you prevent something from happening. You disrupt something. The thing that causes the problem is disruptive. So you might have disruptive weather. So the weather is causing something to be stopped or maybe damaged. It is very disruptive. In the classroom, you might have one student who is very disruptive. They are always causing problems in the classroom. They are maybe trying to create problems with the other students, or maybe they are trying to make the teacher get angry. So you can have a disruptive student in your classroom. Mr. Duncan, do you know what happens to me over the night? I wake up a little bit and I start to speak English. Has it ever happened to you? Really? So sometimes you might wake up and you're speaking English. What about dreaming? Do you ever dream in English? Do you ever have a dream where you are walking around and you are speaking English? I think that's brilliant. You have to become a real parrot to succeed in learning English. Repeating is part of learning English. It is a part of it. So repeating things is not all of it. It is just part of it. But I agree with you. Sometimes repeating things is an important part of learning English. It really is. So do you ever wake up in the morning or in the night speaking English to yourself? I think that's brilliant. Hello to... Wow, so many people are joining in now. Lena is going now. See you later, Lena. Now I have to change my phone, otherwise it will stop working and it will prevent me from watching the live stream. Thank you, Lena. Hope to see you again soon. I hope everything goes all right with your phone. Hello, Ong Trum. Hello to you. A lot of people have nothing to do during this strange time. I think a lot of people have had enough. However, sometimes you have to just keep going. You have to keep carrying on. You have to continue finding new things to keep you occupied. Fortunately, I will be with you every day. So I'm going to be here every day. I will be here today. I will be here tomorrow. I will be here for the rest of April. And maybe, at the moment, maybe I might be with you all the way through May as well. Who knows? I have no idea what is going to happen next. Hello, Alex. Hello, Mr. Duncan. It is so splendid, the nature backdrop behind you. Are you a lord or a nobleman? I can say now that I'm not. I am definitely not a lord or a nobleman. Definitely not. Is it expensive to buy a house with such a view in the UK? Not necessarily. Fortunately, when we found this house, it was not very expensive because it needed a lot of work doing to it. There were many problems with the house. Some of the windows didn't work very well. The inside needed redecorating. There was a lot of work that needed doing to the house. So we did get this house at a very good price. Not too bad. So I can assure you that I am not a millionaire. I'm not wealthy. I know I have to say this sometimes, but I'm not a rich person. Despite what people might tell you about YouTube publishers or people on YouTube, we are not all millionaires, trust me. I can definitely promise you that I'm not a millionaire. Hello Emin, hello also Dolly Dang. Hello Dolly Dang, nice to see you back again. I love your name, by the way. I think your name's brilliant. I really do like it. Oh my goodness, I've just noticed it is 3:15 already. I can't believe I've been here for over an hour already. Incredible. Did you enjoy your Easter egg? Was it delicious? It was very nice. And last night we had the last piece. So there was a little bit of the Easter egg left. But last night we ate it. The last piece of the Easter egg is no more. It has gone. Mr. Duncan, I would like to have a top fan sign like in Facebook. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Do you mean the verification tick? Maybe you mean the verification tick, the little blue tick that some people have. What is the situation with in Vietnam, asks Sergio. What is the situation in Vietnam? Hello, Mr. Duncan in England. Oh, hello. Info Hanoi rides on time. Hello to you. Hello, Mr. Duncan. How are you? I hope you are okay. I hope so. Are you happy? I have followed your videos of English learning on YouTube for almost 10 years. Thank you very much for watching me for such a long time. Thank you so much for your interesting lessons. You are welcome. I love doing this and I wish I could do it all the time. Wouldn't that be amazing if I could just do my live stream all the time? Unfortunately, sometimes I have to do other things like eat and go to the toilet and also sleep as well. Mr. Duncan, what is your opinion of how we can develop some ideas for a topic? It feels very hard when I try to find a new topic, asks Gia Hui Nguyen, watching in Vietnam. If you are going to talk about something, if you have a topic or a subject that you want to discuss or talk about, I always say that you should always talk about something that you enjoy. Something you enjoy talking about, something you enjoy discussing, something you are genuinely interested in. So I find quite often it is much easier to talk about things that you have an interest in. So I hope that helps you. Hello, Shakur. Shakur Adam. Hello to you. I hope you will read my comment. There I have. I have read your comment. Hello, Shakur or Shakur. Shakur Adam. Nice to see you here today. Hello, Feden. Nice to see you as well. Wow, goodness. So many people are here today. Lord Duncan. Can you imagine that? Me neither. Evangelina says, when you dream with English or speaking English, it is the best we know. Oh, we know that we have started to speak English fluently. I think so. So if you start dreaming about speaking English, so if you are dreaming about yourself, if you dream about yourself and you are actually speaking in English in your dreams, that means that your English level is getting better. And also maybe your confidence is growing as well. So yes, I think that's a very good thought. I think so. Mr. Duncan, I love your voice. Unfortunately, my voice is a little dry today. My throat is feeling slightly sensitive because here in the UK right now we are having hay fever season. And unfortunately, every year I suffer from hay fever. Hello, Mr. Duncan. Hello, Fung Nguyen T. Kim. Nice to see you as well. Having a Facebook account is useful. It is much easier to communicate with people during the quarantine. Now they can quickly communicate with their students. Well, I have a Facebook page. I have many people following me on Facebook. So there is a Facebook page that I have. And you might see some of the details underneath here, underneath this video. Mr. Duncan, why don't you read my message? I'm not sure. Maybe I didn't see it. Maybe I didn't see your message. Tias says, in May we will do a full month of fasting. So you will go without food for a whole month. It is nice that you will be with us with your streaming. It'll be great fasting. I'm not sure if I could do that. I'm not sure if I could go without food for a whole month. Giselda, Mr. Duncan, you are not a millionaire because you do your lessons for free. You are generous. Maybe that is true. So for the past 14 years, I've been doing this on YouTube for free. Yes, maybe that's the reason why I'm not a millionaire. Yes, you might have a good point there. Adrian says, during nowadays strange situation, it is a very good opportunity to improve our English with Mr. Duncan's videos. We can replay them. Yes, we can replay them or watch them all. And also we can watch his everyday live streams. One of the great things about YouTube, and this is one of the reasons why I like YouTube very much. Sometimes YouTube makes me very angry and they upset me. But I still love YouTube. I still love it so much. And one of the great things about YouTube is you can watch things as many times as you want. So even this live stream that you are watching now, even this can be watched again. So if you are watching this now live, well, you are enjoying the experience now. However, later on, you can watch this again, and you can watch it as many times as you want. As many times as you want. You can watch it once, twice, or 1,000 times. And it's completely free. Wow. It's amazing. Hello, Dorota. I have been studying English for 3 years online. It is a teacher from Warsaw, and he recommended your channel to me. Thank you very much. English Online with Jan, who apparently is a teacher from Warsaw. Thank you very much. That's very kind. It's nice to see that there are many other English teachers around keeping themselves busy as well. Everybody, please take care. Mr. Duncan, take care of yourself, and I will see you later. I am leaving now. See you, Feden. Nice to see you again. hopefully see you tomorrow. I will be back with you tomorrow. Louisa says you are really rich with morals and values as you help many people who want to speak English. Thank you very much. Very kind of you to say. Mika has been very busy. I think so. I have baked cakes. I have drawn some pictures. I have played the piano in this strange time, and all of them were my hobbies in my younger years. That's great. So maybe something you haven't done for a long time. Maybe you can do it again. Maybe something you haven't done for ages. Something you haven't done for a very long time. You can do it again. Or maybe you can refresh yourself. So maybe there was a thing that you used to do many years ago before your life became busy and hectic. So I think that's a very good thing to say there. Something you did years ago that you never had a chance to continue doing. So maybe you can refresh yourself in something that you did long ago, a long time ago. I like that. One of the things I wanted to mention today is keeping in touch with other people. I thought it would be interesting to have a look at some words that we can use. For example, we can use the word contact. So this particular word can be used as both a noun and also a verb. So the word contact can be used to name a person who you are getting in touch with, or maybe a person who gets in touch with you. They are your contact. Maybe you have a friend who will be there if you have a problem, if you have an emergency. They will be your contact. They are the person you will get in touch with if you have a problem. So this particular word is interesting because it can be used as both a noun and also a verb as well. Contact. You will contact someone. You will get in touch with someone. Maybe a person you haven't spoken to for a long time. You might catch up with someone. So in this particular phrase, we are saying that you catch up. You find out what that person has been doing. Perhaps a person you haven't spoken to for a very long time. You will call them on the telephone. You will catch up with what they have been doing. And I think during this very strange period of time, I think it is a very good opportunity to catch up with someone that you haven't spoken to for a long time. I think it's a great opportunity, a very good opportunity. Call up. So maybe, perhaps you call someone on the telephone. Maybe you call up a friend with whom you haven't been in contact with for a long time. Hello? Hi? Hello? Yes? Is this Pete? Hi, Pete. Hi, yes, it's Duncan. I know, it's been such a long time since we've spoken to each other. How are you doing? I thought I would phone you up and catch up. How have you been then? What's new? What's happening in your life? Anything? Nothing? Me? What am I doing? Oh, I can't begin to tell you everything I'm doing at the moment. I am busy every day on YouTube. Yes, I'm doing my English lessons. Yes, I'm still doing that. Can you believe it? 14 years. Yeah? I can't believe it either. That sort of thing. So that's the sort of thing you might do. You might catch up with someone. You might phone a friend. You might call up a friend. Call up. You will call them on the telephone. Here's another word. In fact, this is a phrase. We can get in touch. Get in touch with someone. If you get in touch with someone, it means you contact them. You get in touch. You contact them. You can get in touch with someone through the telephone, or maybe you can write to someone. You get in touch. You contact someone. You can contact a person who you've never spoken to before. So you can contact someone for the first time. Maybe a friend gave you that person's telephone number, and so you contact them. Maybe there is a friend who you've met, or maybe a person you met many years ago, and you always like to have conversations on the telephone, or maybe you will call each other, or perhaps you will send an email. You keep in touch. You keep in touch. So I think it's nice, especially during this strange period of time, I think it is very nice to keep in touch with someone. You might keep in touch with your school friends, people you went to school with. You keep in touch with one of your friends or relations. Keep in touch. You keep contact with someone. The opposite, of course, is also possible. Because life is so busy, we always have things to do. There is always a new thing that can come along and distract us. Perhaps you lose touch. If you lose touch with someone, it means you stop talking to them, or you lose their telephone number. So you might lose touch with someone. That means you lose contact with them. Maybe they change their telephone number, or maybe they move away. Maybe they don't want to speak to you anymore. Maybe they don't want to contact you. Maybe they are trying to get away from you. It happens sometimes in life, it does. Connect with someone. So to contact a person is to connect with someone. You connect with someone. You get in touch with them. The live chat, once more, is very busy. There are situations around the world happening all with various things. So some countries are having a very strict lockdown, whilst other countries are not being so strict. Here in the UK, we are being quite strict. So the police are actually watching to make sure that people are keeping their safe distance from each other. So here in the UK, you might say that some of the rules are very strict. You might write to a friend. Maybe there is a person you haven't contacted, or maybe a person you haven't spoken to. Perhaps you have their address, so you can write to someone, write to a person. I think nowadays, not many people write letters. Not many people write to each other. I think it's more common nowadays to actually email. Alex says, "You are cool, Mr. Duncan. You bring so much kindness and knowledge to us." Thank you. It's okay, Alex. I enjoy doing this, and I will do it for as long as you want me to. Thank you also to Christina again. We are seriously strict. Strict. If you are strict, it means you are firm. You follow the rules very carefully, and you enforce the rules. You are very strict. I'm sure when you went to school, there must have been a teacher in your school who was very strict. So to be strict means to be stern. You don't break the rules. You are very strict. You demand that everyone obeys your instructions. So you can write to someone. There is another way of contacting people, of course. You might drop a line. Drop a line. When we say drop a line, it means you send a message. Maybe you send an email. Maybe you send a message through your phone. You drop someone a line. So many years ago, writing to a person would be described as dropping a line. You are writing to someone, sending them a letter. I like that. It has been a very long time since I received a letter from anyone. I can't remember the last time I actually received a handwritten letter. I think it must be a very long time ago. I will be going soon, so I will be back tomorrow. Don't worry, back tomorrow, 2 p.m. UK time. I will probably be in the garden again. So I will be back with you tomorrow. If someone calls you on the phone and maybe you were not there to receive their call, you might have to return a call. So a person will contact you, but unfortunately you were not there. So you will often return a call. That means that you phone that person back. You return a call. So they call you, but you are not there. But they leave a message, and so you will return the call. You call them back. Emin says, I have never received long letters. I have never received letters at all. My goodness, that's amazing. So not even years ago, maybe in the past, maybe you received letters from people, maybe a friend, or perhaps an acquaintance. I love this word, by the way, acquaintance. Isn't that nice? I like the way it comes out of your mouth. Acquaintance. There is the word acquaintance. A person who you know. You don't know them very well, so they are not a close friend, but they are a person you know in your life. They are someone who you know, but you don't know them very well. They are a person who you know. They are an acquaintance. Acquaintance. I love that word. Perhaps you could say it 20 times. Acquaintance. There it is again. Acquaintance. A person you know, but you don't know them very well. They are just a person you know in your life. You can get in touch with a person. Maybe a person you haven't been in touch with, or a person you have lost contact with. You might reacquaint. So if you reacquaint, it means you get to know someone again. So you reacquaint. You reacquaint with someone. You get to know them again. Emin is going now. See you later, Emin. I hope to see you tomorrow. I will be with you tomorrow, talking about lots of things again. Will I be in the sunshine? I'm not sure, because this week the weather is going to become a little unsettled, unfortunately. You can call them back. Yes, call a person back. You can return a call. Thank you, Emin. So if you get back in touch with a person, maybe a person you haven't been in contact with for a very long time, maybe a friend who you used to know many years ago, you can reacquaint. Reacquaint. Pal. Have you seen this word before? In British English, we will often use the word pal to mean friend, a person we know. A person is your pal. Your best pal is your best friend. Pal. It's another word for friend. So a person you know well, a person you are very familiar with, can be your friend, or your pal, or buddy. Buddy. I like that word. This is often used in American English. Buddy. A person is your buddy. Hey buddy, can you lend me £10? Buddy. Yes, pal. The word pal is used quite often to describe a friend. A friend. Here's an interesting one. If I can find it. Here's an interesting one. Do you have one of these? Oh, Mr. Duncan, I see what you are doing there. Who has one of these? An old flame. If you have an old flame, it means it is a person you used to date, or maybe a person you used to be in a relationship with, maybe a former boyfriend or a former girlfriend. An old flame is a person with whom you had a relationship, a loving relationship, or an affair. They are your old flame. A person you used to date, a person you used to be in a relationship with is an old flame. I like that one. That is almost it for today. I will be going in a few moments. Oh, Mr. Duncan, it's not fair. Please don't go. I have to go. I'm going to make a cup of tea. I think Mr. Steve wants a cup of tea. And then... Hello. I'm just saying hello to the birds. There are many birds around at the moment. Hello also to Unicorina. Oh, I don't like old flames. Some people, if they have a relationship, if they are in a relationship, and then that relationship ends, sometimes one person does not want to speak to the other one. So quite often, if a relationship breaks up, quite often they will not speak to each other, or they will avoid contact. So I think, yes, you are right there. An old flame is an old boyfriend, someone you used to have a relationship with, but then you broke up. So that person is now your old flame, a person who you used to date. I love that. I like that phrase very much. Mosheen says, I hate my old flames. Oh dear. I don't like the sound of that at all. Have a nice day, Mr. Duncan. I will try to have a nice day. I'm going to have a cup of tea. To be honest with you, it's quite cold. It looks nice. The sun is out. However, it is not very warm. It's very cold again today. I don't think I will be wearing my t-shirt tomorrow. I think tomorrow I might be wearing something a little longer, because at the moment on my... Can you see my goosebumps? I actually have goosebumps on my arm because it's quite cold. Can you see that? I have goosebumps. Goose pimples. I remember the song called Eternal Flame. Thank you, Luciano. Eternal Flame. That was by... I'm trying to remember who that was by now. Is this burning an eternal flame? Who had a hit with that? I can't remember who sung that song now. I think it was a group called T'Pau. T'Pau. Oh yes, I think it was. T'Pau. Eternal Flame. It was a very big hit here in the UK in the late 1980s. Thank you very much for your company. I will be back tomorrow from 2 p.m. UK time, and we will do this all over again. We will have a chat, have a smile. You can listen to the birds, and also, hopefully, you will learn some new English words. Thank you very much. Oh, the Bangles, apparently. It wasn't T'Pau, it was the Bangles. Oh yes, I remember the Bangles. The Bangles. They had a song called Walk Like an Egyptian. Walk like an Egyptian. Walk like an Egyptian. I remember that now. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Duncan. Thank you, Hiroko. Thank you, Florence. I am going back into the house now because it's quite cold. In fact, I would say it is freezing today. I don't know why it's so cold again. Bye, Mr. Duncan. Have a good day. Thank you very much. Thank you, Black Gacha. Thank you, Mika. I will see you tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow, 2 p.m. UK time. Thank you, Mizuki. Thank you, Eleanor. Thank you very much for all of your company today. Listening to you singing. Listening to you singing gives me goosebumps. Oh, okay then. I'm pleased to hear that you feel something when I'm singing. See you later, Dolly. See you also, Vitas, Anna, Sean, Yasia. Catch you later. See you soon. 2 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. And of course, do you know what's coming next? Yes, you do. Until the next time we meet on YouTube, please stay safe. Stay happy. That's all I ask. And of course, until tomorrow, 2 p.m. UK time, this is Mr. Duncan in England saying thanks for watching, and of course, ta-ta for now.